Welcome to Streets of the U.S. Today, I will be in Boston, Massachusetts, and I'll be discussing some of the gangs that operate in the city. The Orchard Park Trailblazers is a mostly black street gang that has been operating in the city of Boston since the 1970s. They operate out of a housing project called Orchard Park. Now, this gang has been involved in multiple murders and drug trafficking. 1991, 15-year-old Damien Bino, a member of the Orchard Park Trailblazers, shot and killed two other kids. He killed 15-year-old Corey Grant and 11-year-old Charles Coffney Jr. This story was very serious. PBS Frontline even did an episode about this situation. Damien was tried as juvenile and received hardly any punishment or time for those murders. Damien ended up becoming a career criminal. In 2020, Damien was finally convicted for firearms charges and drug trafficking crimes. He pled guilty to those charges. He received 17 years in prison. Now, in 1997, 14 members of the Trailblazers were caught in a federal case for selling crack cocaine. These arrests took place in Dorchester and Roxbury. Now, the gang members continued to sell crack cocaine all the way to the 2000s. And in 2017, 12 members of the Orchard Park Trailblazers and the 4th Street Gang were charged with selling crack cocaine around the Roxbury area of Orchard Gardens housing development. There was an investigation being done by law enforcement before the drug indictments. Members of the Trailblazers had sold investigators over 35 grams of crack and 12 guns. Trailblazers have a long-standing rivalry with the Columbia Point Dogs. Now, this gang is also involved in murders and drug trafficking. This gang had drug operations not just in Boston, but outside in southern Maine, Brockton, southern New Hampshire, and Fall River. In 2015, 41 members of the Columbia Point Dogs were arrested on gun and drug charges. The feds call this operation Rising Tide. This investigation, law enforcement seized 31 firearms, crack cocaine, and oxy pills, and heroin. They also got $1.5 million and 15 vehicles. This particular case took law enforcement 2 years to build. Now, the Columbia Point Dogs have been operating in Boston since the 1980s. In the 1990s, a member of the Columbia Point Dogs was shot and killed inside Whitney Houston's Bentley, with Bobby Brown sitting inside of the vehicle also. A member of the Orchard Park Trailblazers was convicted of that crime. Now, at one point, the Columbia Point Dogs was considered the strongest gang in Boston. Some of the members of the gang started their own record labels. Record companies would demand visiting rap artists to pay a protection fee to operate in Boston. The gang had also been at war with the Greenwood Street Posse. If you like this story, please like, subscribe, and comment on the channel. Thank you.